guys just want to play catch up when you get back?
So,
Catch, is that, I don't know if we can get back.
so our deal is I've got
I don't want to.
You're good. This is a great question.
I've had quite a battle with our school, with him coming, so he missed the first chunk of school. He went to first day of school, then decided he was gonna jump out the window. So he missed some time in the hospital. When he came back from that, they said, we're gonna forgive all the work you missed during that time.
Right.
Like, that's great. So then he had spotty attendance for the next few weeks. When he came here, they started hassling me, even though I told him he was in a treatment facility. I'll shorten it. He had to transfer out of his school. They've really been giving me a hard time. I feel like the social worker doesn't want him back, although I think they have to take him back. I don't know what we're going to do. I've been thinking about, like, he would love to be homeschooled, which is a bad choice for him. So I've been trying to think about, are there private programs I can send him to that would, that can get him kind of caught up to go, a place for him to go every day, and then maybe go back to school starting second semester. I don't know if that's possible, but his school, they're kind of being jerks.
Okay.
It's given me a place to vent, to direct my frustration.
Sure.
Our school has been very supportive. I mean, Helena she really only needs 3 classes to graduate.
Okay.
2 are semester-long classes, 1 is a year-long class, but they said, you know what, maybe rather than coming back here, our school has it's called an alternative learning program. They can go over there, she can take all the classes on computer stuff. Probably be done before the rest of the students are. She could still march graduation with her class. So.
My suggestion for you all is go communicate with the administrators ahead of time.
I have done that, but I'm just wondering how bad it's going to be. That makes, I don't want to make it like micro, but
Yeah.
that is unenrolled,
Uh-huh.
because there is some academic component here.
Yep.
They didn't really know how to treat it. It was really odd.
Mhm.
This is a huge school district, but I don't know. I didn't know if I was
Yeah,
having problems or not.
most of the time when we're working with public school systems, we try to get them to medically withdraw the student if they're willing to do that, because that protects the school system on a certain level of their funding issues versus just unenrolling them. And then they can also, it gives them the leeway, most school districts, it gives them the leeway to kind of pass off the work. Because trying to make up 2 months of work, he's never going to do it.
It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, and
All the rest of the question.
right, and so he may end up with summer school to kind of make it up, but if they're willing to medically withdraw him and then readmit them, that would be great. I also am, this is where I'm a little kind of cautious. Given that your 2 sons and your daughter are in Phoenix, I generally refrain from mentioning the word substance abuse unless they have been kicked out for drug use. Like if they were kicked out of the public school for drug use, then you want to go, yeah, my son completed drug and alcohol treatment. But if you withdrew them and the school didn't kick them out for drug use, you want to be cautious about mentioning that they were in a drug rehab, because the school district's like, whoa, okay, that kid's a user, I don't want him back in my school. And so they'll actually put up a lot more flags or hurdles for you. But if he was kicked out of the school for using drugs, then you're like, yeah, he completed drug and alcohol treatment, he's good to go.
Okay.
So just be careful about how you use drug and alcohol treatment. It's tough. Because I'm a big fan of transparency, but in this one I'm like, he needed some behavioral work. They're much more likely to deal with that than substance abuse.
So last thing I want to ask.
You're good. Keep asking.
We're not fighting the battles for him, but one of his big issues in his letters is source of anxiety. He's going to have to go back to the same school.
Yep.
You have any opinion about that?
I will go back to, it's hard to make changes somewhere isolated and go back to a home environment and keep those changes up. Him going back to his old school.
Old school, he's only had it for a week this year. Already moved.
Okay.
So it's a new school. He's only there for a week. Everyone still knows where he's been. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
That's what he's worried about.
He's going to have to face that anywhere. And I don't are you in Columbia proper? Like, are there other educational opportunities for him?
There's an alternative school that we could look into in his district. I mean, I'm in Irmo.
Yeah, I mean, I would be more like, given that he's a sophomore, junior? I mean, given the option of alternative school or traditional school, I don't know what his anxiety is. It's a good conversation for Kevin. Like, there is some element of ferreting that out, and Kevin's going to have the insight. I would lean more towards his traditional public school. And Kevin can absolutely outrank me. He's like, no, here's the reasons why he shouldn't go back to that public school. He should go to the alternative school. But that's a great question for Kevin. But given he was only in the one for a week, I'd stick him back there.
So you think kids shouldn't go back to the school they were in?
It depends on the school environment. It depends on how they ended at the school environment. It depends on their social structure. It also depends on the academic performance. Like, some kids are in highly driven academic pressure environments and they just can't perform there. So I wouldn't stick them back there. I also think it is that change is healthy for kids. If they were struggling and blowing out pre-SUWS in a certain school environment and school was part of the problem, either socially or academically, I wouldn't necessarily stick them back there.
But if they enjoyed going to school.
Yeah, and it's a support. The teachers are like him and the system's supportive. Yeah, it's fine. Stick them back in there.
I don't know if his guidance counselor and the social worker, with the social workers or.
He doesn't know that, so the only ones he does know are the ones who are disaffected and angry like him.
Mm-hmm.
So the support is there, right? The structural support is there. They have good classes, but it's a shitty environment for him socially.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that kind of, I don't know how to square that circle.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I put him back in his home school, he won't be hanging around with those kids, but he will have none of the support, the structural support. So then I think it's kind of catch-22.
Mm-hmm.
Send him to England, stay with his gran.
Nothing good comes out of England.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, you don't want to be exposed to. It's going to be so much pressure over there with Brexit. You don't know what's going to happen, and it's going to be brutal.
We're American.
Just all have Brexit on top. Well, yeah.
Well, he already has enough of those over here,
Yeah.
so that's not a problem.
I try and convince my wife to move to Scotland on a regular basis. I totally want to move back over there,
Yeah.
just so you know, just so I'm clear.
Anyway.
All right,
Good question, man.
it is.
Thank you for
No,
Absolutely.
your questions are the same ones that we all have.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. There's a sober high school. I don't know. See, I just don't know the geography well enough. But there is a sober high school in DC-ish area. I call it DC, but I don't actually know where it is.
Right.
If it's in the city or
In the metro area.
there you go. So,
A silver high school?
which may be useful.
That's a new one.
Yeah, it's like 2 years old.
That sounds absolutely crazy to me. Aren't all high schools supposed to be sober?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't, they don't make a big deal about drugs at the school. They seem to know the kids are all doing them. They walk out of
They're
school.
all rich kids. It's just ridiculous. They
Heroin.
pay their way out of any trouble they get into.
Mm-hmm.
So what is a sober school? Do they like drug test them, alcohol test them? Okay.
It's generally a private school that has very rigorous, but it also, like, part of the day, instead of having study hall, they have a 12-step group or a drug and alcohol counseling group. They have to go to a drug and alcohol counselor. It basically functions as an IOP, but it's a sober high school, and it's a private school. So, and it's just a lot more hands-on. Like, they're not gonna avoid the subject. It's like, no, we're gonna talk about it. You look high, let's talk. So,
I mean, the way it should be anyway, right?
that'd be such a fun conversation if we weren't on camera. All right. So, yesterday I want people to leave the first day like, whew, like, how the hell are we going to do this? I want you to walk out of here and feel the burden yesterday. Today, I want you to feel that burden, but also know you can do it. SUWS families are successful. They really are. SUWS kids are successful. So every week on Thursday is my staff meeting. Kids write back letters all the time, generally to the therapist. It's like, hey, just wanted to say hi. And so I make all the staff, any letter they hear from an alumni, they have to read back. So I've been to high school graduations. I've been to college graduations. I got to go to one wedding, which was pretty cool. Like, these kids, they do all right. I know they're a pain in the butt to parent, but their ability to take or not take no for an answer, those are the kids that change the world. Like if you take no and like, okay, I won't do it. Like you're not going to change anything. You're just going to bump along. SUWS kids, they will change the world. They do great stuff. They really do. So you're going to be all right. Is it going to be easy? No, it'll be hard. And you'll be all right. You will. Even when it seems hopeless, it's like, ooh, it's a lot. You can do it. Your kids can do it. They've done SUWS. I mean, last night was cold. They did all right. You know, they can do hard things. They can do really hard things.
Nobody paying them to stay in here? My daughter stayed out there?
It's not an option.
Pneumonia.
You don't get pneumonia from staying outside.
Pneumonia's bacteria.
There's a lot of, I mean, well, we're going to get into like, we overcompensate. We got all this antibacterial soap. Like the most dangerous place to be is the hospital because it's the cleanest, right? Like your kids are dirty. So Tuesdays at graduation, Tuesday, if I'm having a bad day, I go watch you guys give your kids hugs. It will probably be a stinky hug. Like they're a little dirty, they're a little stinky. But it will be the most amazing hug you've ever had, no matter how you entered SUWS. I've watched some pretty awesome entries into SUWS, like, you know, F you and I'm never talking to you again. And you see those kids 2 months later hugging their parents. It's awesome. You will have a great hug on Tuesday. It will happen. It will. So, that's all I have. You're not in this, I'll get to you 1 second. You're not in this by yourself. So after you leave here, if you have questions, call us, email us. Once you graduate out of SUWS in junior's home or wherever, and you're in it and you're just like, wow, where do I go? You're part of the SUWS family, so call us. We'll help you. You're not on your own. You're not. Call us up. Let us know what's going on. Send us a text message. Hey, can we chat? We'll have it. We'll have a conversation, all right? You all probably have my cell phone number. It's in your enrollment packets. You get my business card with my cell phone on it, or you get an email with my cell phone number in it. If you don't have my cell phone number, I'll give it to you. What's your question?
Why don't you graduate on the weekends and do these things on the weekends? And I'm just asking because of $17,000 tuition plus, you know, 2 or 3 weekends missed or weeks missed out of work.
Uh-huh.
Just a logistics
Yeah,
reason.
it's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, I see that, but. You know,
That's not the reason we have it set up on Wednesday. It's not. It's a fair question. I don't have a good reason for you.
But you have to-
And even either, yeah, I do. I hear you. It's actually a good question, and one I'll actually, as soon as you ask that question, it's like, I have no friggin' idea why we do it on that day. So I'm gonna go ask my program director.
Hotels on the weekends, but you know what?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is usually done on Thursdays and Fridays, but I had to do it on Tuesdays and Wednesdays because we're doing all the medical stuff. We're doing medical training for our staff during the weekend portion. So I can't have this room on Thursdays and Fridays for the month of October. But that's a great question, and I honestly don't have a reason for it. I don't know, but I'm gonna go ask Brian, my program director, and be like, why do we do it on? I have no idea. And my honest answer is like, because we've always done it that way, and I have no idea why the hell we set it up that way, which is not a good answer.
I mean,
I don't know.
We're fortunate that this doesn't affect us, but I'm sure a lot of people.
Yep. I mean, hell, he drove home last night.
Yeah, it affected them.
Yeah. Nothing.
On the graduation, when we spend the night on Tuesday night out in the tent, is it just us with our child?
You're on a family solo.
So who tells us where to go?
My staff. We'll take it. You.
One of them will be there? or-
Oh yeah, all my staff. So I have a whole graduation team that's monitoring, and so Monday for grad, you show up in this room at 1 o'clock. You do the Monday afternoon with Mike, who was here yesterday morning. Monday evening, you go to your hotel. You kind of have Monday evening. Tuesday morning, you show up at my base camp. And at that point, when you punch in, I have staff members that will be with you at all times in terms of like kind of making sure you're in all the right spots. You'll go Tuesday morning, you'll get a hug, you'll do skill work. You're going to practice starting fires and setting traps. You're going to hear all the stories about what it's like to be out in the woods for 2 months. You'll do a bunch of initiatives like my card game or stick game. You'll do a whole bunch more of those in terms of communication with your kids. Then roughly around 2 or 3 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, you'll be put out on your family solo. So your family will be out, your family will be like, everybody goes as a family unit out to your little area. and you'll hang out there, you'll cook together, you'll start a fire, the therapist will come in and do a final kind of terminal session with you. You'll have the overnight, but there's always staff around kind of checking on you.
So we're camping that night?
Oh yeah, you're camping. Mhm.
I don't remember signing up for that.
You won't sleep well. Even if you're good at sleeping outside, there's a train that goes by 4 times a night.
There's bears.
There is bears. You probably won't see a bear though. A group of kids is so loud, bears, like, because they're so used to getting shot that they just run away when they hear us. So,
And then Wednesday morning you leave.
yeah, you'll do a graduation ceremony. Like my staff will make sure you're awake and in the right spot. You'll have a quick little breakfast. You'll do a closing ceremony for the kids. They kind of go through a graduation experience, another graduation to add to your list, and then you'll sign out of the office and be on your way. Generally no later than 11, I think are hard. Like you'll absolutely be out by noon. Typically you're on the road by 11 a.m.
No stopping at Grove Park for a few days for a little.
Oh, you don't get a vacation.
No vacation.
Just straight home.
I hear Hickory's nice between here and you guys.
I got
Like,
a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I love hiking, I love camping. and
Yes.
My dream scenario would be Durant and I,
Yeah.
at some point, get on
Yeah.
the Appalachian Trail and do 3 days.
yes,
Whatever.
yes.
And I know it's probably depends on the
He
situation.
just said take a ice fishing, that's a
Could
good
I,
idea.
is that something we could do after a month, 8, how long would it take to get to that point?
In the
Is there a phase where you say, don't do it?
Well, you have
For
to do
X
it.
so it depends on the kids. What I would say to you, if you have that desire, hey Durant, in a letter before graduation, in the first month that you're home, and it's going to be December, so you're going winter camping, but it's like, I want to go camping with you. Like I would just set up. It happens regularly where families go hiking or some of the family goes overnight camping. It happens on a regular basis from SUWS. There's other kids that are like, I'm never touching grass again. Like I'm just not going outside ever. But other kids are all in. And so if that's something you want, I would say, hey buddy, this is something I want to do together. And then maybe you're not going winter camping, but it's like, go for a hike. Go to Homestead State Park is in your area. Go hike those trails together. I would just put it in a letter. It's like, this is something I want to do with you. And this is what,
In a
like,
letter he gets
Yep.
here?
Yep. In the first month that you're home. And if it's something you want to do, again, I would build the structure as soon as possible. Don't wait 3 months, because then it probably won't happen. So he's used to hiking every day. You know, I think you talked about his dietary stuff. He's losing weight while he's out here. Like he's toning up. He's going to be physically fit. It's one of the benefits that you get out here is being physically fit. The best time to take him is right after SUWS because he's going to be used to hiking. It may include you swinging by REI or something to get some new hiking clothes because he's probably not going to wear the hiking clothes he wore here. But
He's used to wearing the same thing every day for weeks at a time, so
Yeah.
maybe.
but it would definitely be great. Maybe we're not that far, so even coming back up here, hey bud, can you show me Heartbreak Ridge, Snook's Nose, all these areas that we went to, what's it like up on Rocky Top, can you show me how to get there? And let him guide you. He's gonna know where to go. I mean, we don't have a ton of course area. He'll know all the trails. So come on back up.
But you can't be in general population with the kids here.
He can't, he's not gonna hang out with a group, but we can, this is public land, so anybody's hiking.
Cross people.
Oh yeah, all the time. That's why we run into the hunters. It's all public land.
That's why they wear the
Orange beanies, orange vests, bright red jackets. Yep. It's all Pisgah National Forest is where we operate.
But they can hunt in national forest.
Oh yeah. We have hunters, hunters out there right now. It's bear hunting season. Squirrels all year round, raccoons, turkeys. If it moves around here, they shoot it. Yeah, they eat some weird stuff.
Now, what do they trap when they're here?
Students don't trap anything. So back in the good old days of wilderness,
Big trapping?
we teach them how to make a trap. It is a problem-solving exercise. So if I just said to you, go make a Paiute deadfall trap, which is basically balancing a rock on 4 sticks, you'll fail. It's a problem. It's a big problem. But there's 14 steps that if you do each step perfectly, then you have the opportunity for it to work. But if you just start by trying to say, I'm going to make this rock balance on the stick, it's not going to work. Much like get along with your parents. It's too big. Go to school. It's too big a problem. You got to start at step one. Maybe the best thing you can do is see your dad and be like, hey, nice shoes. You know, that's the first step that you need to do, get along with your parents, is offer a compliment. Then maybe find something, let's go see this movie together, let's do something. So it's this whole idea of teaching problem solving by setting up traps. There's all these reasons why a trap won't work, but you need to learn how to make it work. They stay up for an hour, and then the staff will knock them down. So we don't trap anything. We used to. It used to be great. We used to trap mice, woodchucks, snakes, all kinds of fun stuff. Not anymore. Yeah, parents got upset that the kids were eating mice. Ah, well. A little crunchy, but not bad. Burn the fur off. Good to go. So, I'm completely serious. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You take a mouse, you split the gut, you open it up, you peel it out, you crack the ribs, and you lay it face down on the fire, and you flip it over and burn all the fur off, and that's what you eat. Not going to happen. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's what I got.
Thank you.
Yeah. Enjoy your drives home. Thanks for coming. I love working with your kids, and I love teaching this class. It's really fun to meet the families, and so thanks. I know you never wanted to send your kid to rehab, but thanks for picking SUWS, because I really enjoy it. So it's fun. It really is fun.
I did have a level of confidence that's increased since the class.
Cool.
Because I've been very worried about, first of all, bears. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
I like bears. Mountain biker,
Uh-huh.
bad. But, I'm, just worried about what she's going to be like when she comes out. And my son's like, he's convinced she's never going to talk to us again.
It's rare. Has it happened? Yeah, it's happened, but I couldn't tell you the last kid that came out. It's like the high majority, I'm talking 90-something% of kids at some point will thank you for sending them to SUWS. They may not like it. They will not say, I really like SUWS, but they get it. It's like, I never wanted to go there, but I appreciate you sending me there because I learned something. And they get that. So I'm not asking them to like SUWS. SUWS is hard. I love the woods. Sleeping on the ground for 60 days is hard. It really is hard. And I'm not asking them to like it, but you will find most kids, hands down, will thank their parents for sending them to SUWS. Every once in a while we get the weird one that runs away from grad because they don't want to leave. It's like, no, I feel safe here. It's like, no, you got to go home, kid. Get out of here. So, but they...
You got to question the home at that point, right?
Yeah. But it makes sense. As hard as this place is, they have a cohort of kids that they're authentic with and they're vulnerable with, and they've developed real relationships with that are safe, and they can make mistakes in front of, and they're going to have blowouts and whatnot, but they can trust that I can give you feedback, you're going to give me feedback, you're invested in me. It's a safe community. In the big bad world out there, it doesn't care. It's not a safe world out there. It's somebody's going to walk by and it's like, I don't give a crap that you were in a wilderness program. Buck up. That's scary. So, but most kids will come out of here, they'll talk to you, they will appreciate that you sent them there.